Hey, you guys. So I have what feels like a part two of a message from a dream state that I gave you all a year ago. But last night's dream, it was off the hook. I had a few different sequences of dreams, but I had a little time today to, contemplate, ponder what did it all mean. And it just took me back to a dream that I posted maybe a year ago. I'm not sure, but if you can recall, I was speaking about, well, let me just tell you about the dream last night, and then I'll give you a recall on the dream state from about a year ago. But last night, I just went over a crazy hump just now, like phone hit my mouth and everything. Just so that's probably what you heard, but possibly them trying to shut me up before I could even get the message out. But that don't work on me. I just recognize it for what it is. So last night, and these are going to be two instances that completely make no sense, and for me to even see, visualize this, have the vision in front of me in my dream state was enough. And I know not to take it literally, but I'm going to describe to you what I was shown. So the first instance, I know it was a dog, and the top part, which would be a dog's head, but it was a head, but it was kind of obstructed, not looking like a normal dog's head. I was looking at the teeth. It was like a clicky clacky chattering of the teeth, so to speak, but the teeth were based on the crown of the dog's head, almost as if they were like scales that were kind of stacked in a way, but they were teeth like the size of, they weren't like canine teeth. They more or less look like, I want to call them dinosaur teeth, but not old, decrepit looking teeth, like prehistoric. They were like modern teeth, but they were large and like stacked as scales, but they were on the back of the dog's head. The front of the mouth, I can't recall seeing like a snout and all of that would open and close, but whatever these teeth were on the back of the head, they were like clapping together, like chattering, so to speak. The dog posed no threat. It was just there chilling, but it had eyes as well, because it was a head, but again, I couldn't point out the snout from just me focusing in on the teeth. They were definitely shiny, glistening teeth, but it wasn't anything vicious. It just looked weird, strange. That was one thing. So to me, that just gave like a reference of things looking backwards, or I'm hearing now unrecognizable, even though even in my dream as I speak, I know it was a dog, but don't know dog look like that. Okay, so the second sequence had to do with me pointing up to the sky and even showing my mother what looked like an unidentified object in the clouds, because it was kind of like the lights were peering through the clouds and the clouds were like masking it. Turned out to be an upside down car when the clouds dissipated, which obviously makes no sense at all, right? But I'm just telling you what I saw. But that was another sort of that reference of things being backwards, because it looked like a reflection, almost as if like a car would be rolling along the highway, but when you look up at the sky, it's like a flipped image, like a mirror sort of image, to now it's upside down, but it's above you in the sky. Whew. So after pondering, and the connection that I was mentioning earlier about the dream state that I gave you a year ago, to where there was a guy who had approached me in the dream state. He sounded like he was talking okay, but then he ended up in the end not making any sense at all. Like his words were all like miscombobulated, but put together in a sentence to sound quote unquote normal, but it wasn't. And then there was another sequence in that same dream that where a girl, she was walking with with a group of people, maybe like 3 or 4 of them, but she was the only one. Everything, her mannerisms, everything that she was doing was backwards, as if it was being shown to me in reverse motion. And at the time, it was weird for me to describe, but I believe I got it out in clarity. So I was reminded of that dream, and then I took what I had dreamt about last night. And the message is, even before, previously, when we were shown, well, when I was shown and I shared with you, the person who made no sense, that was talking, seemed like they were making sense. And to them, they were making sense, but to me, made no sense. And then the girl doing everything in reverse, but she was moving forward with the group of people who were acting, quote unquote, normal. That led me to where we are now, actually, with the glitching. We're seeing a lot of glitching that's been happening. So I attribute that dream state to the glitches. We were kind of being prepared for that. And I'm sure you've witnessed glitches in your own life. Like, did that really happen? Like, wait a minute, I just saw that. Why am I seeing it again? Or did I already see that and thought I didn't see it, but now I'm seeing it? Like, that sort of thing. That's been happening. That's been occurring. So now with this new reference last night, dream state, I feel like it just has to do with now us seeing, like actually witnessing objects, things that are in different representations of themselves. I don't know how to put that into what we are going to see in the 3D coming up. I wish I had an example to give you, but I'm hoping Spirit will drop something on me to give you an example here live while I'm doing this recording. Spirit, give me something. I don't know. I was just shown an image of a cat. I don't know, a black cat even, just walking, but their face is towards me and their tail is up, but they're just focused on me. I don't know what that means right now to tell y'all. But anyway, y'all, I heard objectifying. Objectifying. What does that mean, Spirit? Objectifying. Putting more realization into an object than what is necessary. So, y'all, I'm wondering if that just means, okay, so don't believe what you see. Don't believe what you see. It looks familiar, like the dog. It looks familiar. But it's almost like that's not a dog. With the car being upside down in the sky, like a flip mirror image or a reflection, it looks like something, but it's not really that. I don't know, y'all. I'm getting like the imagery of us being shown things that aren't real. That's what I'm getting right now, and I believe that's what Spirit wants us to know with this message and that whole recalling of the dream state. And this is like the part 2, like the lead up to. We've been involved and witnessed the glitches that have been happening. Now here comes the part 2. Now we're going to be actually seeing things physically that are not real. Wow. All right, y'all. All I can say is maybe report back. Let me know what you've been getting as well. But that's just my sharing of what I've received information-wise. And hopefully this will be of some aid even to reflect back to. As in, wow, Spirit really is really letting us know. It might be a year in advance, but that gives us plenty of time to prepare our minds and our hearts, right? All right, y'all. I hope y'all are well. Hope this helps.